Hey there, it's Lisa, the Half Asian Tarot Queen. My little cat, Aiko. And yeah, I kind of fell off the grid for a few days and had some, I guess you could say, a falling tower moment. I have the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, some pretty harsh truths like coming online in my world. Yeah, I kind of had to take some time. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna, just try to be semi-regular about this thing. But again, this is sort of a hobby, and I've got some other stuff going on, and so yeah, I might be irregular at times too. But like I said, this is going to be more about storylines than dates. So I feel like, the way we're setting things up, it probably won't matter that much, or at least it won't hopefully interrupt the flow too consequently. So yeah, like okay, I just pulled some overall cards for the reading, and pretty interesting. We have the Queen of Swords in the middle, and we also have the Five of Cups and the Ten of Cups. So this is interesting because, the Queen of Swords is she's been around the block. She's had some rude awakenings in life. She kind of sees things how they are, and, she doesn't really sugarcoat, she just kind of tells it like it is. And then we also have the Five of Cups, which is, it's a card of regret and loss, and you're kind of focused on the loss, and Three Cups in front of you that spilled out, but actually there's this big blessing behind you, and so like you need to turn around and like see it there. And interestingly, the other card we have here is a Ten of Cups. So it's like once you can it's like being confronted with some kind of harsh truth, and once you can kind of process the loss of what was and turn around, there's actually this big blessing right here, So that's kind of the overall energy of the reading. And I've got this new deck, which I'm super excited about, and it's interesting that this is about harsh truths, because for sure that's kind of my falling tower moment that I'm having. And so like I've been super attracted to this black and white deck. This is the King of Wands on the bottom of the deck, because it is black and white, and because I am having a moment of harsh truths. And so like I like this sort of like simplicity and just like the black and white nature of this, because yeah, it's definitely like a moment of just like cutting through BS, like, trimming the hedges, and like sort of like cutting away things to sort of make room for this new era that's kind of coming online. Like this is a big energy that's going around right now in this moment. So yeah, I'm gonna pull a few cards, about the overall energies. Wow, this is it's looking pretty good. Wow. Okay, couple more. Oops, that one definitely wanted to come out. Wow, this is crazy. It's like all major arcana so far. This is like a super huge climax, like, going from here to here with this like harsh cut of the blade, Wild. I'm definitely having personally a very intense experience in this regard at the moment, so I'm definitely feeling this right now. Oh my god. Okay, so I've got 6 cards here, and every single one of them is a major arcana. So wow. I don't know if I've ever gotten that before. This is like some sort of massive turning point, you know, and it's just like everything's going off at once, like everything's changing and it's happening fast and furious. So we've got the sun. Talk about black and white decks. Oh my god. The star. I love this deck. It's a Bianco Nero deck. I really love it. The world. So it's like, this is a, you know, like kind of like your dreams coming true in a way. It's just like happiness, abundance, fertility, like everything you've ever wanted. Like, it's the best card in the deck. And then this is, well, this card actually is the card of like wishes coming true. You know, it's like when you wish upon a star, you get like this total new beginning, and it's just like the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. And this new one is basically your wishes coming true and like having what you need, happiness, abundance, and fertility. And then we have temperance, the fool, and the emperor. And this thing that comes to me with this, you know, so we have this emperor because, like, I guess it was like last week's readings, and there's been this whole theory for, you know, basically since I started doing this channel, which hasn't been that long ago. It's been like a few weeks. But there's been this recurring story of this King of Pentacles who has just been this, like, nose to the grindstone, just, like, doing his work, just, like, keeping it going, keeping it together. And this King of Pentacles has been going through this sort of transformation of the Phoenix. So there's a whole thread on here called Phoenix that's kind of telling this tale of this King of Pentacles. But I feel like, because there was this big transition that happened like last week where there was this birth of an empire, and, you know, prior to that, I've been getting the King of Pentacles like over and over and over again. But lately, I keep getting the Emperor. So it's almost like that King of Pentacles has gone through some sort of transformation and stepped into his power. And now, you know, he went from being just this, like, keeping it together, nose to the grindstone, steady Eddie, the guy that's holding stuff down, to, like, he's been crowned the king, you know, in this new era. And so, yeah, like, he's just like stepping off, he's a fool, stepping off into this new era, you know, like all of his wishes have come true. And not only that, but like, it's like this huge dramatic transformation with, like, you know, 6 out of 6 major arcana cards. But yet, despite that, he's kind of walking through this transition in this peaceful way, you know, it's temperance. Like, somehow there's some balance to this whole transition despite that. So this is like a really intense and good reading, you know. It's just like, wow, like there's this massive transformation, but it's really good. And, you know, had to, like, kind of like let go of, you know, suffer through some loss of some sort of past era to get here. But like, once he's like stepped into the portal, you know, it's like actually really good on the other side, you know. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna get 3 cards of guidance from, oh my gosh, wow, from the other deck. This is interesting. So, oh my god. I almost was gonna say this and then it just flipped out. It's just like, okay, so this emperor's like made it into his new world, you know. And he's got it all, you know. And then, so he got the truth. So some kind of big big revelation, big truth is coming, bubbling up to the surface. And then we get the Empress card, which is interesting because the Empress is like his counterpart, you know, that's his, it's the Emperor and the Empress, they're a couple, you know, and it's like this divine couple. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So he's like made it in the world. He's made it, and he's just looking for his counterpart, you know, so that they can build an empire, you know. And then the next card that comes out is the Ace of Cups. So it's like, wow, you know, it's just like, you just like lay down this new foundation and it's solid. Like, you know, you've got happiness, abundance, fertility, like you've laid it down. And then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, the Empress shows up, like your divine counterpart. So this is looking like a really magnificent transformation in life from some sort of like really sad era of longing and heartbreak to basically a whole new life that's happiness, that's based in happiness and abundance and, you know, stuff going your way. And it's pretty awesome. I'm going to pull one. Well, actually, it looks like we got two cards from the Sacred Travel. Oh my God. I love these cards. It's so cool. Okay, so wise leader, you become a beacon for others. So this is interesting because, again, the King of like I was talking about, this King of Pentacles who has now been crowned the Emperor. But, you know, he's not just like an emperor who's like, you know, just been handed it. Like he was born into it, you know. This is an emperor that like came up through the ranks, you know. He worked his way up and, you know, he's got the respect of the people, you know. And then we have embracing enthusiasm, shouting to the heavens with happiness. So that sounds like a pretty great reading, you know. Like, sounds like it's pretty much all positive except, you know, where it came from, you know. But that's the thing. He like rose through the ranks, you know. Like he's the real deal. Like he's not just this like, you know, like he inherited it or something. Like this guy like worked his way up, you know. So it's like you don't get that as much, you know, when you have the it's like the thing that's coming to me is this John Lennon song, Working Class Hero, you know. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but that's what I got. So yay for that, and we'll check in with you later.